Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into a really fascinating explainer. We're going to be breaking down the narrative structure and character arcs of that viral, super dramatic script, The Devil King: Redemption Through Love. Let's just jump right in, shall we? What we're really looking at today is the anatomy of a villain's character arc. I mean, how exactly does a writer take a totally cold-blooded, seemingly irredeemable mafia boss and guide him through this massive psychological transformation? Well, we're going to track that exact evolution, step by step.
So the entire narrative is anchored by this one incredibly powerful premise. People say monsters don't fall in love, but nobody asks what happens when a monster loves too much. This hook, it completely sets our expectations right out of the gate. We aren't just looking at a standard romance here. We're looking at a full-on collision. It begs the question, right? What actually happens to a man who literally uses fear to control an entire city when he suddenly discovers this overwhelming vulnerability? This explainer is going to track exactly how that dangerous amount of love completely dismantles his dark world.
Section 1. Meet the Devil King and the Sunlight Girl. The writer sets up this absolutely brilliant juxtaposition right from the start. On one side, we've got Damien Vale. They call him the Devil King. He's this guy who always wears black, has eyes colder than death, and operates completely outside the law. In fact, politicians and criminals alike secretly work for him. He is totally heartless, a man who can extract revenge in some dark warehouse without getting a single drop of blood on his clothes. Then, on the flip side, we have his polar opposite, Lena Carter. She's a 22-year-old barista who apologizes when she spills coffee, works 2 jobs, and is just desperately trying to pay her sick mother's mounting hospital bills. One rules a criminal underworld with an iron fist, while the other is just fighting to survive with a smile on her face.
Section 2. A dangerous obsession begins. So how do these two completely separate worlds actually collide? Well, it's pure chance on a flooded street. Lena is finishing up a late shift, rushing to a bus stop in the pouring rain when she's suddenly cornered by 3 drunk guys in a black SUV. Out of nowhere, Damien emerges from the rain and gives them exactly 3 seconds. He literally just tells them, "You have 3 seconds." And when one of the gangsters foolishly tries to take a swing at him, Damien violently breaks his arm in a single second. But here's the thing, the real turning point isn't the violence itself, it's the aftermath. When Damien turns and makes eye contact with a terrified Lena, who softly thanks him, the source material notes that for the very first time in years, Damien actually feels his own heartbeat. That single fleeting moment triggers the entire unraveling of his icy exterior.
Now, Damien hates weakness, right? And to him, love is the ultimate weakness. Yet, his obsession with her escalates incredibly fast. By day 2, he has his highly confused right-hand man Victor pull a complete background check on her. He learns everything, the sick mother, the lack of money, her completely ordinary life. Fast forward to week 1, and after Lena gets unfairly fired from her cafe job by some complaining VIP, a luxury car pulls up. Victor and Damien are there, and they offer her a job as a personal assistant, paying exactly enough to save her mother. Damien claims it's not stalking, just a fair transaction. And just like that, Lena steps right into the devil's world.
I absolutely love this little detail from the source. When Damien first steps out of the car to offer her the job, Lena instantly freezes and just blurts out, "The scary rain guy." Now, nobody in the history of Blackmore City had ever called Damien that and survived. Even Victor almost laughs. It's a nice touch of humor, but it critically proves just how fearless and grounding Lena's presence is in his dark, terrifying world. She doesn't see a king, you know? She just sees the scary guy from the rain.
Section 3. The Monster's Vulnerability.
As Lena starts to integrate into his massive, completely silent mansion, she wanders into his private room one evening, and she finds it absolutely covered in photos from his childhood, specifically of him and his mother. Damien coldly admits to her that his mother was murdered. She had actually begged the powerful people of the city for help, and they literally laughed while she died. This right here is the moment Lena, and, well, the audience, realizes that this villain wasn't born evil. The cruelty of the world created the monster. It's really a masterclass in adding psychological depth to a character who seemed totally heartless.
But listen, his newfound vulnerability is a super dangerous thing in his line of work. During a really tense mafia meeting, another powerful boss makes a joke, smirking that the Devil King has gotten soft because of a girl. Now, Damien doesn't argue. He just slowly stands up, pulls out a gun, and misses the boss's head by mere inches, delivering this chilling warning. Mention her again, and the next bullet enters your skull. It proves a massive shift. The man who used to care only about power has finally found something, or rather someone, worth protecting. This all leads to a beautifully written, truly pivotal emotional scene on the mansion's balcony at night.
Damien admits he doesn't sleep because of nightmares, and when Lena points out that he protects her, Damien argues that it doesn't make him a good person. But Lena validates him. She tells him that yeah, while it might not make him good, it makes him human. And this just shatters him. The most feared man in the city actually admits, I don't know how to love someone. And Lena simply whispers back, then learn. It's the exact moment his humanity is fully awakened.
Section 4. War for Love.
So what is a monster's greatest weakness? Well, the answer, of course, is a heart. And this introduces our antagonist, Roman Volkov. He's a mafia leader who has just returned to the city. The source describes Roman as crueler and honestly smarter than Damien, and he is completely obsessed with destroying him. Roman looks at a photo of Lena and immediately realizes the only way to break the Devil King is by targeting this newfound weakness. Damien knows this too, of course. He ramps up security and becomes terrified, not for himself, mind you, but entirely for Lena.
Despite all that heavy security, Lena is kidnapped. Roman attacks her convoy and sends Damien this taunting video of Lena tied to a chair, smiling at the camera and declaring, "The Devil King finally has a heart." And wow, this is the exact spark that ignites an unprecedented, just merciless rage in Damien. Every single weapon in his mansion is loaded. The Devil King goes to war. But for the very first time, it's not for territory and it's not for power. It is purely for love.
The climactic showdown happens in this incredible, rapid-fire sequence. First, Damien violently raids the hideout, literally walking through bullets like death itself, dropping enemies without a single ounce of hesitation. He breaches the room, but Roman is waiting there, holding a knife right to Lena's throat. He's mocking Damien for being weak enough to love, demanding he lower his weapon. But it isn't Damien who breaks the standoff. Lena fiercely bites Roman's hand. That split-second distraction is all Damien needs. He fires instantly, taking Roman down. Then he rushes to untie Lena with trembling hands, and the text notes that as she hugs him, for the first time in years, the Devil King cries.
Section 5. The Monster's Redemption.
And this brilliantly illustrates the macro effect of this micro love story. Over the following weeks, Damien methodically dismantles his own criminal empire. I mean, the whole shebang. Illegal businesses disappear, corrupt politicians he once controlled just vanish from power, and the overall city crime rates drop significantly. Saving one girl ultimately saved Blackmore City. It really drives home a beautiful thematic point. Love dismantled the very empire that violence and trauma had built.
When Lena asks him why he's changing everything, changing the very fabric of the city, Damien gives her this answer. Because you looked at me like I deserve saving. It perfectly ties up his character arc. It wasn't fear or the law that reformed him. It was Lena's unwavering, unshakable belief in his humanity that truly redeemed him. The script then jumps forward 2 years later. The city is safe, children play freely in the streets, and people actually respect the name Damien Vale instead of fearing it. The two of them are standing on a balcony at sunset, and Lena playfully teases that he's still scary. He admits he's only scary to others. For her, I'd burn the entire world. This final romantic declaration shows that while Damien is no longer a villain to the city, his fierce, intense devotion to the woman who saved him remains completely intact.
Which leaves us with this final provocative question. Can a monster truly be saved by love? Well, this script argues a resounding yes. It suggests that the coldness of a villain is often just a shield against a world that hurt them, and that sometimes the most dangerous hearts are the ones capable of loving the deepest once that shield is lowered. It's a fascinating look at character redemption, and I hope seeing it structured this way gave you a new appreciation for how these dark romance narratives are built. Keep asking questions, keep analyzing what you read, and I'll see you in the next explainer.